welcome to my channel. I'm going to show you how to shop like a professional chef. Yes, a pro. It's the best, and I cannot wait to share this with you guys. So, I've worked as a private chef for over 15 plus years. I'm a classically trained chef, but now I am home as a mom with my 6-month-old baby, and I need to go to the grocery store, but I need to make it really efficient. Of course, I can use my phone and do a notepad, but the whole point of this is to be as efficient as possible. So I'm not checking my phone and deleting stuff, which sometimes I do. If I'm running in for a few items, I'll put it into my phone. But again, it's not as efficient. So what I do is I start with a clean sheet of paper. So when I walk into my grocery store, and you have to kind of do this according to how your grocery store is structured. So when I walk in, I always go into the produce section. So I'm going to start with columns. So again, structure it according to how your grocery store is designed. And when I walk into the grocery store, I know here I have produce, and then after produce, then I head dairy because that's pretty close to the produce section. After the dairy section, there is the dry goods. So I'll do that here. After dry goods, then it's meat, and then miscellaneous. So miscellaneous, whatever you want to add. So there we go. These are the columns. So let's label these columns. So produce, dairy, dry goods, and then we do meat and miscellaneous. So there we go. So basically the whole point of this, when I go into the produce section, everything that's in produce, I get everything that's in dairy, dry, meat. So I just go right through the store instead of going from miscellaneous to produce, or from produce to meat, meat to dairy, and go back and forth and waste time. So that was it. I created some columns. So now I'm home. I'm going to start making my list. And I'm just going to start adding to my list, in sections. So I'm going to start with the produce first. So I know I need lemons, limes, and this is all going into the produce column. Oranges, and this is stuff that we use. So if you don't use it, don't add it to your list. That's kind of what I'm doing. And I always love to have onions, lettuce, cucumber. I'm going to do like stuff for a salad because I think tonight will be a great night to make a beautiful salad. So red peppers. And I'm just going to keep going. I'm just going to keep adding to one column. So if you notice, I'm only adding stuff to the produce section because that's kind of what I'm doing now, is making the list for the produce section. How could I forget berries? So berries, so you guys see what I'm doing here? So now we're gonna move on to the dairy section. Let's see if we need any butter. Yep, our butter is a little low. So yes for butter. So dairy. So now we move on to this column. So I'm gonna do dairy. So for my almond milk, I'm thinking of milk because I'm in the dairy section. I'm going to actually put it under the miscellaneous, or that could be dry goods as well. So I'm going to do almond milk. I know I need sea salt. So of course that goes into the dry goods section. So if you guys are following along, if you get the idea, that's kind of what I'm doing here. So let's add sea salt to the dry section. That's the dry goods. If we need honey, let's check and see if I need some honey. So that's pretty much it, I believe, because we have quite a bit of stuff for dry goods. So we are good there. And my baby just woke up, so actually it's a good thing. So she just woke up, which is great. Hi, sweetie. Hi. I'm going to finish my list, and then we can go to the grocery store. And she's wearing the perfect onesie for this. Little carrots, little kale, little carrots and kale. So I'm just going to keep rolling. So this is why this is perfect, because it's about being efficient. Like, hi. In the middle of prepping and getting ready and showing you guys my amazing method and how I shop like a professional chef, she woke up. So I'm going to continue. I'm moving on to the meat section. So if you guys can see what's happening there, that's it. I'm making a list, baby. So for miscellaneous, I think I need dish soap. So that would be, so the miscellaneous would be like cleaning supplies and, you know, like random stuff. So dish soap, maybe a protein shake, bananas, because those are great for my protein powder. Bananas, that goes on the produce. Banana. So that's it. I'm pretty much completed. Again, this is an efficient, professional chef way of how I shop. This is a method that I've created for myself to simplify my life. And now that I'm a new mom, it's actually perfect. So you don't need to be a professional chef. You just need to be someone who wants to get in and out of the grocery store in no time. Again, I've made columns and I've listed everything that I'm going to grab. And then I'm going to head to the grocery store and just grab everything. And off we go. Are you ready? All right, let's go. Off to Whole Foods. We arrived at our local Whole Foods. We were armed with a notebook and ready to go. The whole point of this is to be as efficient as possible. You don't need to be a private chef, you don't need to be a personal chef, or you just don't need to be any kind of professional shopper or anything. All you need to want to do is to get into the grocery store and get out of the grocery store. And now that I'm a mom, this is even more paramount for me because I want to get in and I want to get out. So as I mentioned, upon arrival to the grocery store, I walked into the produce section and I just went right into it. So I was checking out the berries and just making sure, you know, I picked a good one. And I'm going to give you guys this tip. So they have this method. It's first in, first out. It's called FIFO. So the good stuff is always at the bottom. I know they're probably going to hate me for telling you this, but when you're grocery shopping, always check the stuff at the bottom. That's where all the good and the freshest stuff are. Especially if they're doing their job, that's where usually you'll find the best of the best. So I checked off the avocado and I checked off the berries. But that's just to show you that I could do that one by one. But what I did is I just continued. I know what's on my list. I made my list like maybe less than half an hour before arriving to the grocery store. So I just started picking up the items that I know I added to the list, like my bananas. And I just kept going. I know I needed my citrus. So that was pretty easy. So I know what's on the list for the most part, but it's just to make sure that I grab everything and don't forget anything. So I just kept going through the produce section. And if you notice, I'm just sticking into this section. I'm not going to a different department. This is the department that I arrived into through the doors, and I just stayed in this department, and I'm, you know, just grabbing my apples and just grabbing everything that I know that it's on the list, because I could just stop, like I said, and just keep checking the list. But for me, that's not efficient. That's just me wasting my time. So I just grab a bunch of stuff. I know I wanted to make celery juice and I added that. So that was it. That was pretty much everything on the list. So now I started to cross everything off. So now while I'm crossing it off, I'm also checking in the grocery cart just to make sure everything is on there, and that's it. Produce section is completed. And then I added the beer because I totally forgot to add beer into the miscellaneous, because of course, you know, my husband likes beer, so I grabbed a 6-pack for him. Just being a good wife, and you know, he'll appreciate it as usual. I like the gluten-free beer, but I kind of held off on that. And from the produce section, I walked over to the dairy section. So again, when I was explaining it at home, this is why I structured how I did it. Because each section, I just walked from one section to the next, and it's kind of just going around the store in like a circle without having to go back and forth and waste time. Again, this is to be efficient. The whole point of this is to just get in and get out, but I don't need to look like I'm stressing, right? So that's kind of what I'm doing. I'm not stressing, I'm just getting it done. Dairy, done, completed. Then I kept walking, and of course the next section is the dry goods. So I was good on my oils, you know, I kind of peeked over, but I'm good. And of course I need a little snack. So there's these little snacks that I like to have. These are like banana peanut butter covered in dark chocolate. They're so good. So we just kept going and just picking up all the little stuff that we know we needed. It wasn't really a big list for the dry goods, but most importantly, I know I needed sea salt. I've been out for a while, so definitely needed to grab the sea salt, and it is on the list. But you know, just walking around a little, and I don't wander around in the grocery store. Again,
It's just get in, get out, but I don't need to look like I'm stressing because, I don't need to. I'm a professional. So I'm just sharing this with you guys so you guys can, maybe just eventually when you're in the mood and you want to get in and out of the grocery store, you can try this, and let me know what you think. You can definitely comment and let me know what you think. Yeah, I'm one of those people who will take a snack and eat it in the grocery store, and I will pay for it. I always do. And again, dry section completed, easy. It looks effortless. Yep, throw the wrapper in there because usually I'll let them know that I had a snack and then just add an extra of the item or just put the wrapper in there. So my daughter is happy. I'm just cruising. I'm not stressing. I'm just cruising to the store, but I'm not really spending a lot of time in the grocery store if you notice. Right over to the meat section, grabbed everything I needed in meat. I know I had the beer, and the last thing I needed was a dish soap, but I had eggs at home, but I was like, oh, I'm at the grocery store. Let me just grab some more eggs. So that was like the only thing that I went out of my way for was the eggs. So eggs look good. Always check them so you don't have to go back to return any. And I was good to go. And lastly, if you notice, I circled the dish soap on the list, and here we are, completed. Scratching that off. Everything is completed. This did not take me more than 20 minutes. And I needed a snack. I didn't really have much to eat before I left, so I just grabbed a protein shake, and of course I'll let them know and I'll hand that to them. They're really good because they usually just hand it back to me, and I was just ready to check out. So I headed over to the cashier, and they're always so sweet and wonderful. It's our local Whole Foods, and everyone there is just so awesome and amazing and helpful. So I really enjoy going to the grocery store. Look at her. She's just smiling, greeting me. But yeah, and here's another tip too. Another tip. There goes the wrapper. Yep, paid for that. This is a great tip. What I do is the way I pack the grocery cart is how I unpack it, because I don't really demand that they do that. I just do it in a way where they're kind of forced to just pack it, how I put the stuff on the conveyor belt. So I put all dry goods together, produce together, just like how I made my list. So when I get home, and for example, I know if I have a bag, the dry goods, I know it goes into the pantry, and if I'm in a rush, I don't have to like fumble through the bags. So there I was leaving, just like thinking ahead and making my life like, a little less stressful, especially now that I'm a mom. So just taking everything out, packing it up, and Aubrey, she was doing wonderful. My daughter was just doing so great. I mean, look at her. We were ready to go home, getting ready to hit the road, and it's not too far from where we live. So I got home. My husband helped. We unpacked everything, washed the berries, and that was a refrigerator. I cleaned it before I left. So definitely give it a try. Comment below. Let me know how it works for you guys. And again, thank you for watching. I hope to see you soon. Bye.